Bryan Pena. Yes, what is happening with this case?
We just got an offer tendered by the state today, Judge.
Okay. All right, how old are you?
21, Your Honor.
All right. All right, I'm gonna set this in March for a plea deadline date. I'm gonna set you for March 24th. Counsel, I realize sometimes young people need a chance to think over things, all right? So March 24th is going to be your plea deadline date. Defense, is that enough time for you?
That is enough time. I will just let the court know. I'll email Ms. Ferguson if I do end up going to trial that week in Comal County. Because I
Okay.
would know by the Tuesday before.
Okay,
So if anything, they could just push it to Friday of the same week.
sure.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Your Honor.
Oh, and counsel, if you make sure if you all have received all of the discovery to do a discovery acknowledgement for the court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Marlon Phillips. Hello.
May I address the court?
Yes.
You asked us to make an effort to get into community court. Unable to do that with the felony prosecution not backing off the two felonies. We're not gonna go to trial on this matter, but I can't get them in the community court. I suggest a short reset for further discussion regarding possible resolution by mental health supervision while on deferred adjudication.
All right, so how much time are you requesting?
2 to 3 weeks, Your Honor.
All right, this was fixed to the wrong thing. All right, and what other cases does he have other than this drug case?
Not aware of any others, Your Honor.
All right, that's the drug case. All right, so what we'll do is we would call it for 2 weeks. Do you still want it in this month or you want it in the month of March?
March is good.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson. Put this for that first week in March, please.
Okay, you want to watch this interaction between Mr. Phillips and his attorney right now?
All right, and Miss,
Is it one felony or two?
oh, I don't know. That's why I was asking.
They're together, whatever it is.
All right, Norma, excuse me. So, Mr. Phillips, let me explain something to you. Number one, you're leaving this courtroom. You're not leaving the courtroom in cuffs, so your attorney is doing a good job for you. The reason why I brought up the fact whether it was 1 or 2 is because I could have sworn I heard somebody mention that. Looking on the docket, I only see 1. Do you understand? So this whole releasing of anger towards your attorney and not thinking things through is an issue for you. So you need to start thinking before you just lose it and enter into your angry phase. Do you understand? So all you had to do was calm down and say, I don't understand. Here's the thing. But here's the thing. Listen, all right? Your felony case, the state does not have the labs, right? What we're trying to do and what your attorney is trying to do, this is where the counselor of law comes in, is we're trying to make sure, and he's trying to make sure that you don't pick up another felony, because we're dealing with the homelessness issue, maybe mental health issues. He's trying to work on all of that with all of the other caseload he has. You understand? So it does you no good to be angry with him, to speak to him in an angry way, because guess what? He's trying to help you. Now, he may not be able to get you exactly what you want, but he's still trying to help you. And I can tell you, I do not understand, and I've been trying to rack my brains around it. A lot of people will be angry with their attorneys, and the attorney is not even the person who has you in the situation that you're in. Usually when people go see their doctor, they're not angry with them because they have cancer. They're not angry with them because they have high blood pressure. They see them as, yes, this person could probably save me. Your attorney is just doing what's in your best interest and trying to save you. You understand? All right.
Yeah, I
That's,
see.
all right, that's great. So here's the thing, just don't talk to people when you're angry, because people will listen better when you don't come to them angry. That's why I try.
This whole time I had.
I know, but this is why I always tell people, just keep it right here and smile and everything will be okay. All right? So have you been able to find a place to stay or no?
On and off.
All right. So he's trying to work on that. We're going to see about referring you maybe to, he says, mental health. The mental health court may be able to help you with housing and your mental health. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we're going to bring you back on March 3rd. And Ms. Ferguson, when you do an order, yeah, she already has the reset form and she's going to do an order for him to be reviewed, for you to be reviewed for mental health. Okay? Do you have any now? Now that you understand everything, do you have any questions about anything? You sure?
Uh,
All right, now's the time that, do you have any questions for your attorney?
We answered them.
Okay, all right, have a great day, okay?
Thank
You're welcome.
One more, Your Honor.
Yes, just one second.
Roberto Avalos.
Roberto Avalos Jr.
No answer at the docket, Your Honor.
All right, let me see if he's on a commercial bond.
He is, Your Honor.
All right, do you want to try calling the commercial bondsman?
We have tried that in the past. I only have communications with an address that apparently is wrong.
Okay,
Not necessarily wrong, Your Honor, but incomplete. If you look at the court's notification, it says 750 Bynum Avenue. However, if you check in our case management system, you find that the last known address for this defendant is 750 Bynum Avenue, number 12. And if you look on Google Maps, you'll find that the location for that address is a trailer. So it is possible that notification was sent to an incomplete address and therefore not complete.
all right. So counsel, do you want to check with the bondsman again or no?
Well, Your Honor.
All right, so once you check with the bondsman, just come back. Ms. Ferguson, could you give defense counsel the number to the bondsman on Roberto Avalos, please?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Jamarian Greer. Hello, why were you late for court?
Traffic.
All right, so you're gonna have to make plans for traffic. There's always rush hour traffic and there's always traffic in San Antonio. It's becoming 35. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your attorney is currently in jury trial. All right, Norma on Greer. Let's recall this for February 27th. Your attorney should be complete with jury trial by then. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Just have a seat. The coordinator will call you when she's ready for you to sign the form.
Thank you.
All right, do you have any questions about anything?
Oh, ma'am.
All right, thank you. So is Eduardo Reyes in the back?
We just took him back to.
All right, so can you look at the system to see if the evaluation has been completed? All right, and what is the result? Yes,
He's been seen. He was found incompetent first,
okay.
and then he was at the hospital, refused to take medications. When the order to force medication came in or was threatened, he just behaved normal.
Okay.
And the reports itself speaks loud about that he kind of, they suggest that he's malingering. I've been trying to talk to him. He comes to Zoom, he sees me, and he just turns back around. If we want to have him seen again, we can do that.
Do you think he needs to be seen again?
I mean, I'm not an expert on that. I mean, I've seen people that clearly show signs of incompetency.
Mhm.
He knows who we are. He knows things, but I mean,
So do
for all
you,
safe and everybody's, out of caution, that would be a good idea.
all right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
refer him for another competency evaluation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then what we'll do is we'll recall you back for March 27th.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Do you want me to file a motion to, or just file the motion and
Yes,
when we can
if
just get it
you'll
all.
file it, yes.
I'll file it today, good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Maybe excuse.
Yes.
Councilwoman, can you just send me a copy of it?
Yeah,
Because they'll
I'll
take a
send it
look.
and I'll send you an email.
Okay, thank you. I just need my little ticket.
Okay, I will give it to you. Gordon Chase? All right, are you all proceeding on the motion to revoke? All right, court is calling 2020 CR 2543, State versus Garden Chase. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, hand up.
For the defense?
Glenn Payne for the defense.
And are you Mr. Chase? Chase Gordon, who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 2543 for the offense of robbery on December 15th, 2021 for a term of 5 years. Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 46 on or about 26th day of September 2024, Travis County, Texas. Lieutenant Chase Gordon, within and there, failed to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of the Bear County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Substance Abuse Felony Punishment Facility, continuum of care treatment plan. And that the defendant failed to report to the Officer of Transitional Center in violation of condition number 46.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State?
Oh, that's the only violation.
I have two.
That's the only one
All right. All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 46, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 46? Court will find violation of condition number 46 true. Is there a proposed agreement? State, what are you requesting?
State's requesting revocation.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, actually, we're gonna ask the court to follow those 4 years, spoke to my client. And he went to, I'm gonna tell Jason that we agreed to the recommendation. That's what my client. is
The
asking.
recommendation for,
4 years.
all right, is that the agreement?
I'm sorry, I didn't know that was an agreement, but the state is recommending 4 years. In Texas Department of Corrections.
Are you in agreement to that?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will then grant the motion, find you guilty, revoke, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Rose Marie Martinez. Probation, was there any restitution in this case?
Judge, no restitution is listed.
All right. So no contact with Rose Marie Martinez. There's to be $1,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. All right, I'll ask for the therapeutic community. The therapeutic community does not increase the time that you're in custody, but it's to help you maintain your sobriety. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Craig Cantu?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Greg was here February 6th. And they haven't brought him up and back yet, but if I could waive his appearance. We've
Sure.
done a jail visit.
Okay.
I talked with him February 6th. I got documents from the jail, certificates, classes I provided to the state. We proposed an offer.
Okay.
They've reached out to the complainant. They need 2 more weeks. They're going to mail a letter. This may be resolved. We're just asking to come back in 2 weeks.
All right. Norma, I need a 2-week reset on Craig Cantu.
February 27th?
Yes.
All right, February 27th. Do you want him to be brought out?
We don't need him brought out. We just recently spoke with him too.
All right, Deputy Laura, on Craig Cantu, you can send him back. Just have them let him know that we've spoken to his attorney. They want him called back for February 27th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, I'm ready on Mr. Enriquez. Is that Mr. Enriquez? Cervantes. All right, Mr. Cervantes. Thank you.
Señor Cervantes, pase por favor. Se va a parar aquí, señor, entre las dos franquitas. Vea siempre a la juez. Yo le digo a la juez, usted siempre ve a la juez, que no voltee a ver.
Mr. Cervantes, your attorney is actually in jury trial, so he cannot be here. We're gonna recall your case for February 27th. If your attorney wants you brought over before February 27th, he will let us know.
Yes.
All right, do you have any questions?
No, she just said that we're gonna wait, right?
Yes, and let him know that his attorney did file a motion to reduce his bond. Again, we're just waiting for your attorney.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Deputy Laura. We've completed the hearing, and Norma, if you let the system reflect that we had an interpreter. All right, court is calling 2020 CR 8047, State versus Cody Lee Wisecarver. Could I have the parties announced for the record?
Jason, get your hand for the state.
John Pettis for defense.
And are you Cody Wisecarver?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Wisecarver, do you understand that that's a substantive change to the indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that your attorney has 10 days to prepare for trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objection to the indictment as changed by the state?
No, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand you're charged with unlawful possession of metal or body armor by a felon? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's no application. The state will take in consideration 2020 CR 8534. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just that we'd ask you follow the agreement, Judge, and as well to let you know on I have the dates, July 14th, 2021, my client was in federal custody at the time. A warrant was issued for failure to appear in order to start giving him credit. He has been in custody since then.
All right, I'm sorry. Could you repeat the date again?
The date was July 14th, 2021. We just asked that he be given credit for that time. We also technically had 3 months prior to that, but then the July date eats up time.
Okay. All right, the court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, taking consideration 2020 CR 8534, give you credit for any time served while this case was pending. And there is to be no contact with Evers Road in San Antonio, Texas.
Grandmother lives there, Dutch. She's lived there for 55 years.
I mean, all of this, that's where all of this occurred,
I know there's.
and people are frightened. All right, good luck to you. Thank you.
Have a seat, sir, please.
To make sure, it was the specific address of that apartment complex that we were talking about, no,
Sir.
the no contact order, right?
No.
The entire Everett Road,
Mhm.
the entire road,
Yes,
okay.
yes, because based upon that's based upon what I read in the police report. That's why.
It was just at the apartment complex, is my understanding. It wasn't, my understanding, I mean.
Yes. Yes, no contact with Evers Road.
I think it's Everett Road.
And then he was,
Well,
yeah, you understand.
I understand that part.
All right,
Thanks
thank you. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 012312, State versus Roberto Avalos. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Italy.
Defense?
Dennis Callahan.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:24 a.m. Defense, you've made attempts through the bonds office to reach your client. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the client has not made an appearance. State.
Forfeit the bond, issue a warrant.
All right, that will be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank
And do you have anyone else with us, Mr.
No,
Kelly?
Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Carlos Benavides. Good morning. All right, where are we on discovery?
There are recordings made by Eagle, the SAPD surveillance helicopter that were not produced as part of the evidence production for this case. I requested SAPD to produce those as quickly as possible. Additionally, the felon possessed firearm that is not indicted was filed at large. That does not have most of the discovery, so I asked SAPD to produce that for that.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. I only have one case on the docket, and I guess the felon in possession, was that recently indicted?
It's not indicted at all. It was filed at large.
Ah, okay. All right, so we're gonna recall this for March 27th. That will be the last discovery date on this case.
Your Honor, it's been over 90 days now on the felon in possession. We'd ask the court grant a PR bond on that case.
All right, so file the motion and I'll hear it. All right, is there anything else?
No.
All right, so Norma, March 27th, and we'll bring you back, counsel, whenever you file that motion, we'll be ready to hear it.
We'll file it today. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
They don't want to.
Just one moment. Rakim Osore. All right, let me see here. All right, this final plea deadline date.
Judge, you reset our last plea bargain deadline date to today because I had some information to provide to the district attorney's office.
Yes.
Which I provided to the district attorney's office, but I haven't had a chance to confer with the first chair. She's not here today. So I would be requesting a couple more weeks to do that.
So when is the first chair going to be here? Do we have a first chair? All right, so we're recalling it next week. Norma, set this for February 18th. There will be no further plea deadline date extensions after that date.
Okay, all right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Guadalupe Rodriguez. All right, so it was recalled today. It's supposed to be for Tacoma results.
Judge, there's been a little bit of a complication. I want to bring the court up to speed to information that the court may not have, and that is that Mr. Rudd.
Have you all conferred with probation?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, and the state judge.
Okay.
All
right, everyone, please whisper. Yes.
So Judge, there was an arrest warrant issued pursuant to a revocation on a blue warrant. And according to my discussions with Mr. Rodriguez, that he is going to be in TDC for at least a minimum of almost 4 years, 3.5 years or something like that. He has an underlying 4-year sentence on this cause he's before the court on. I look to the court for whatever the court wants to do. It seems appropriate perhaps to, if he agrees to.
Well, do you all want a revocation?
I think so, Judge. I think that'd probably be the most realistic, and I've explained to him how that would work.
All right, if you all are going to waive notice, then I'm sure a revocation can be done today.
We'd waive notice, Judge.
All right, so if you'll talk to probation and to the state.
We already actually discussed those.
Jorge DeLeon. Good morning.
I apologize for not being available earlier. I was in the back.
No problem. So
doing
where are we
something
on
case
discovery?
related. We are almost there. A new piece of discovery has just been made available to me. I have to get that from the DA. Is it something that's not downloadable?
All right, what is the discovery? Rick, what's the discovery that's missing?
It is another film. I don't know. I don't remember offhand exactly what it is, but it's another piece of photographic and or video evidence from the day of the occurrence.
All right, so do you know what it is?
But if she wants it out, I can have it downloaded to and provide it to them.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this in 30 days for discovery.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, we'll be back on March 17th
Okay.
for discovery. All right, do you have any questions?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you back then, okay? Thank you. Thank you.
May we be excused, Your Honor?
Well, you can. He is not excused.
Please, Your Honor.
Have a good one.
Tomorrow's Valentine's.
I know. All right, are you all ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 9154C State versus Isaac Hernandez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Gary, and y'all.
Defense?
Karen Corby, attorney for Isaac Hernandez, Your Honor.
And are you Isaac Hernandez? Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Isaac Hernandez who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 9154C for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on November 29, 2021 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violate condition number 2 on or about the 26th day of May, 2023 in Bear County, Texas. Defendant Isaac Hernandez did then and there consume alcoholic beverages in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violate conditions.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. It is the time motion. And to actually extend the individual on his deferred for 9 months. And for this individual to come up to date with his probation and fees and other things that he has on probation.
All right, and probation on Hernandez, is that your recommendation? All right. You want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Isaac Hernandez.
All right, you can lower your hand. What have you been doing on probation?
I finished my drug classes. I finished community service and parenting classes as well.
All right, so what happened?
There was like a domino effect of things happening at the time. I had lost my car, so it led me to losing my job. And it was just a lot of things happening. I was moving at the same time.
So why didn't you call probation?
I did. There was many times that she would switch the timing, and I didn't have a car at the time, so it would lead for me not to go. But I would call.
So you were saying you were having issues with probation?
No, just like with the car getting there. Just getting there.
So if she was changing or the probation officer was changing times on you, which was causing issues, why didn't you come back to the court and say, hey, I'm having issues, probation is changing times on me? And maybe I would have said, okay, I'm going to give you 3 months, get your life together, and you can report by Zoom. So why didn't you do that?
I should have done that. I don't know.
Here's the thing, you're looking at 20 years in prison. You're going to have to start learning how to problem solve, and that problem solve can't be not paying attention to your responsibilities, because based upon this plea of true to number 2, I could still revoke you. This agreement you have with the parties is just a recommendation for me. You have a contract with the court. It's not a contract with the state or the defense. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So do not come back here again for violations where you have not tried to reach out to probation and reach out to the court if there's an issue. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court is finding violation of condition number 2 true. The court will extend you for, I'm going to extend you for 3 months.
Thank you.
Judge, it would be extended from November of this last year.
Huh?
And that,
Then I'm going to, I'm going to extend you for 4 months.
Yes, ma'am.
And because he's completed everything, has he not?
Payments, Your Honor.
Except for payment.
I don't think it's any restitution, but.
All right. Is there any restitution?
No, Judge.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. How much does he owe in payments?
But the total amount due is $1,470.
When do you think you'll be able to pay that?
At least within 4 months, I'll be able to pay it.
Do you think you can pay before then though? Maybe you can borrow some money from family or something?
Yes, I can.
Here's the thing, the bad thing, let me just tell you the bad thing about borrowing money. Then that's hanging over your head because it's still money you need to pay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm finding 2 true. I'm going to extend you for 8 months. If you pay off that amount, $1,470 sooner than that, I will let you off early. But what that means is there has to be no more violations, no drinking of alcohol, nothing. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor?
All right. Make sure, probation, if you can make sure, well, let me give this to you. That's $1,470. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. But otherwise, you've been doing great. Don't let life's, we can go off the record. Don't let life's problems beat you down. Everybody has some issues that crop up in their life. I have issues that crop up in my life. You just have to deal with it and learn how to problem solve. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Judge, may I?
Yes.
His mother is in the gallery
Mhm.
and she says she can pay that today. She wants to pay it today.
Oh.
Judge, he does work. He
All
works
right.
hard.
So Mom, are you planning on paying that today? All right. Are you going to make him pay that back?
Yes, he works for my husband, so he's gonna pay that.
Well, I mean, that's just some extra payment he has. Here's the thing. This is what I always say. If you lend money to family members or friends, consider it a gift. Don't hold it against them if they don't pay it back. If they pay it back, great. If they don't.
Yes, that's definitely how I see it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Mom. You should thank your mom for agreeing to pay this. All right. Once it's paid, then you all can file an early termination. All right. Good luck. Don't come back here
Yes, ma'am.
unless you're coming back by to say hi.
So
Yes,
Judge,
ma'am.
I just want to confirm, do you still want me to do the extension? Or
If y'all can tell her where she needs to go to pay, if she pays it today, then I'll sign the termination today. The termination satisfied.
okay,
All right. I don't know. The reason why I say go ahead, the reason why I'm thinking go ahead and extend it, because I
right,
don't know if something's going to be closed. You know, things happen.
right.
All right. All right. You'll be released. Mom, he'll be released today at like midnight or 1 a.m. That's when they release. Okay.
Have a seat,
All
sir.
right. You're welcome.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 010675 State versus Eric Padilla. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Rakim Galloway for the state.
Tony Jimenez from Mr. Padilla.
All right. You entered a plea of no contest on January 30th to count 1. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. And there is, the state is silent on your application. The state is taking in consideration 2024 CR 010691 and 2024 CR 010929.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yes.
Mr. Jimenez and I have conferred to an additional term that the defendant has agreed to, so I don't know if you want me to put it on the paperwork
Yes.
right now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the state and the defense have agreed to add to your plea bargain agreement that there's to be no contact with Desiree Weir. Is this W-E-I-R-E?
It's WEIK.
Okay. W-E-I-K?
WEIK.
Okay. Or Purr Drive. All right, defense, do you have any witnesses?
None, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will hear argument.
Judge, my client is accepting responsibility for his actions and also his criminal history. He's resigned himself to make changes in his own life, part of which is involving the fact that he's been incarcerated for such a long period of time. He's not a high school graduate. He is not gang affiliated. He was working a part-time job as a handyman during the time that he was in the community in which he lives. He's been treated in the past at the Center for Healthcare Services on Fredericksburg and Callahan Road. He suffers from PTSD, bipolar, and depression. That's been confirmed by Dr. Greasy of the Center for Healthcare Services. He was on SSI. Because of his incarceration, he's lost those benefits. When he's finally discharged from the Texas Department of Corrections, he would have to then reapply, provide additional medical, and it's questionable, or it's really going to be a decision at that point whether or not he's going to be able to continue with SSI benefits. He's asking the court for their consideration in this particular case. He may want to address the court directly. I know that you often ask questions of individuals brought before you. He's in a position that he's willing to answer all the court's questions, and we're asking for an appropriate punishment by this court.
All right, is there anything you wish to say?
None at all.
All right, are you sure?
Yes.
All right, because I will tell you what I'm trying to understand is why would you do this? Because that's part of sentencing. I'm trying to see where you are at mentally. I do take into consideration that your counsel says that you suffer from mental health issues. I understand that. What I can tell you is I don't think this is an appropriate case for probation based upon the fact that, you know, this is an elderly person and they were terrified. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
All right.
Yes, I understand.
So is there anything you wish to say to the court or no? All right, the court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. Take in consideration 2024 CR 01091, 2024 CR 010929. There's to be no contact with Desiree or Richard Wilk W. White. So did you know them?
Yeah, I used to live with Richard.
All right, W-E-I-K.
W-E-I-K, yeah.
And there's to be no contact with Furr, F-U-R-R Drive, San Antonio, Texas, 78207. And counsel, I'll add the therapeutic community to hopefully address any mental health issues as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, good luck to you.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Just one second. Counsel, did I give you the trial court certification?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Judge, I have.
All right, now,
To me, and I get-
all right. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal, because it's a felony conviction, which I'm repeating. You're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. My understanding is there is a victim impact statement. So just listen and internalize what's being said. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Over here, put your back against the counter.
Yes. My name is Desiree White. I am the daughter of the victim, Richard Allen White. My dad cannot be here today because my dad passed away in October. I have to sit here and I have to speak for him. Although my dad's death certificate says that he died of pneumonia and complications, I know what killed him was a broken heart, as well as the feelings of betrayal. My dad was elderly, he was disabled, he was on the verge of being unable to walk. But that didn't stop you from attacking him and breaking into the home. Which I heard part of the 911 call in which you made a comment similar to, you don't know who the F you're effing with, mother effer. I heard my dad beg 911 to come because he was terrified that you were going to kill him. My dad had a heart condition called plea. That basically meant that he had shortness of breath, fatigue, and his heart would skip beats. When you and your little friends would call him from the jail and harassing him to drop the charges, harass him to send you money, to send you care packages, my dad would have panic attacks and chest pains. The last week of his life, the doctors and nurses told me that had he not had that stress, he probably could have survived the pneumonia. Did that to my dad. My dad did not know you from Adam. You are not our blood relation. You are not a relative. My dad believed, and you can say you're a Christian or you can be Christ-like. My dad had a history of taking young men who were troubled under his wing. He would give them little jobs around the house, they could have pocket money. When I was in university, I would come home to my grandmother cooking meals for men who looked like they were extras in gang movies. My dad would take time to teach these young men how to fill out job applications, how to answer interview questions. My dad gave you a place to live when you had no place to go. All you had to do was do little jobs around the house and take care of his rental properties. But you couldn't do that. When I was preparing for my dad's funeral, I had to go through his belongings. I went through and I looked for the awards that he had won for his hard work. I saw the letters of recommendation that he received. And I also found the letters you wrote him from 2017 when you were incarcerated, from 2018 when you were incarcerated. You thanked him for treating you like a son. You thanked him for sending care packages. You thanked him for letters. You thanked him for supporting you when no one else would. But then something changed. Last July, I don't know what happened. You went off the rails. But after a week of being incarcerated, I found the last letter you sent my dad. I was going to read it to the court, but I'm not going to. But a week after threatening to kill my dad, you sent him a picture of a teddy bear holding a smoking gun after you threatened to kill him. And you wrote, Padrino, Richard White. For those who don't speak Spanish, Padrino means godfather. A godfather is a man who stands up to care for someone when their own father can't. My dad was not a padrino to you. He was a father to you. There are 3 pages here. Some of it's nonsense, some of it makes sense. Nowhere in this letter do you take responsibility. In fact, you even wrote down, I am being detained on a 2nd-degree burglary and aggravated robbery from a simple criminal mischief. You downplayed your behaviors. And then you go on to say that we are past this. You may be past it. I'm happy to pick up the pieces. I'm the one that had to comfort my dad anytime he got a phone call and had a panic attack from you. I'm the one that had to help my dad do the eviction notice. I'm the one who had to clean up the drug paraphernalia that you left. I'm the one that's picking this up. So I'm happy that you've told him to move on, but I'm here to pick up the pieces. Your letter goes on to talk about your ex, to talk about your daughter. Nowhere in here do you ask for forgiveness. Nowhere in here do you say, can you please forgive me? But in here you write demanding Zoom calls, demanding care packages. On this page, you demand $800 for GPS. And you go on, you want another $100 for who knows what. And it keeps going on, demanding, give me, give me, give me. And the last page you even wrote, you know, I love you like a father. I have to ask you, what kind of man attacks the only person who cares about him? No one does this to their father. After Dad died, we had a lot of conversations about you. Dad said he was conflicted. As a human, he wanted revenge. My father even said he wished you would burn in the fires of hell. My dad never said things like that before he did what you did. And my dad said he knew as a Christian, he was supposed to forgive you, but he said he couldn't. And he said that he's gonna die. He's gonna go to his grave without conflict. Well, he did. He went to his grave without conflict. My dad said that he could overlook the hundreds of things that you did. The fire that mysteriously got started, the cocaine, the heroin. He could overlook the broken windows, the broken doors. But he couldn't overlook the fact you put hands on him. I've been to practically every court hearing that you've had. I sat over there with my colleagues and I watched you cut jokes. I saw you snicker and play games while Counselor Hernandez was trying to give you representation. I know you told your counselor that you were ready for change. However, I don't think you are. In preparation, I prayed for this. I prayed every day. But when this day came, I would have the strength to see you. I didn't pray that you went to prison. I didn't pray that you would get probation. I prayed that the Holy Spirit would guide the judge to make a fair judgment on you, because I am so blinded by rage. You could drop dead, and I would laugh at you quickly right now. I'm not that kind of person. But I am grateful to Judge Boyd, not because she's sending you to prison. That's not why I'm grateful. I'm grateful because she has a clear, level head. In fact, she's one of my colleagues. I hold her in very high esteem. I am very surprised that you asked for deferred achievement. It's like you forgot I'm a probation officer. When I found out that you had 3 cases, 2 of those cases were assigned in my court. I did the right thing. I called my court family and I told them I need him transferred. He needs an opportunity of fairness, because I know you weren't going to get in my court. I found out that one of your attorneys is a very good friend of mine. I called the attorney up and I asked him to recuse himself so that you would have an opportunity of fairness. Luckily, you didn't get probation, so I don't have to call my superiors and tell them how my personal life and my work life have collided. I don't have to ask and beg my colleagues to give you a fair shot. I can give you a fair shot because I believe everyone's entitled to a fair shot. But my coworkers are bloodthirsty. I couldn't guarantee that for you. I prepared 2 statements, one for if you got probation and one if you got prison time. I told you what I would say to you if you got probation, but honestly, I wasn't expecting you to get prison. I have got mixed emotions and I'm holding on right now because when I walk out that door, I'm probably going to collapse and cry. You put my dad through it. You use your mental health as an excuse. At no time do you take responsibility that you didn't take your meds and that you were abusing substances. I hope you get the help you need. I would say I wish you the best, but you had the best life a stranger could have under the care of my dad. Now that you're going off to wherever you're going off to, I can move on. I can clear out the apartment that you had, and I can do what I need to do to go on with this. I just hope that you can change. I don't know if you can, but I hope you can. Your daughter deserves better than what you do. I hope that you are shown mercy, but sadly, you didn't show my dad any mercy. There's more things I can say, but this is my workplace. The deputies are my friends. The probation officers that are present here are here to support me. I am not going to embarrass myself and tell you anything else. I have a future that you don't have, and I'm not going to let you take anything else from me. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.